Namaste, friends. I'm Heather Wiest with Love Serve Inspire, and today I'll be guiding you through Fly Like an Eagle, All Levels Slow Flow. For today's practice, we'll be using 2 yoga blocks. If you do not have blocks, a thick book would work. I am here to guide you, but you're always your best teacher. So please, listen to your body, stay safe, and have fun. We're going to begin today's practice seated. So if you feel like you need to sit on a yoga block to bring a little height into your seat or any other comfortable seated position, please do so. Finding that comfortable seat, we're going to be taking Eagle Mudra today. And so that's where we cross at our thumbs and our hands look like wings. For women, the right hand is going to be on the inside, the left hand over. For men, the left hand would come under and the right hand over. So just go ahead and just taking your hands to your chest or your heart, wherever it feels most comfortable for you, and allowing the eyes to close. This mudra is said to balance all the systems of the body. Garuda Mudra, Eagle Mudra. The eagle represents freedom, strength, vision, leadership, grace, hope, spiritual insight, and wisdom. Allowing yourself to tune into your breath, just feeling the effects of the Eagle Mudra. And my question for you today is, what's your vision? Imagine there are no limits. What's interesting about the eagle, it has a third eye lens that allows it to look at and fly towards the sun, allowing it to fly higher than all other birds. So just tuning into your third eye lens, allowing yourself to look at your source of light, seeking that insight into those deep visions that we have for our life, those deep passions. And creating an intention for your practice. It could be a positive affirmation, a prayer, or a deep heart longing. As your breath becomes a little deeper, those full inhalations and exhalations just transitioning into our Ujjayi pranayama. That slight constriction at the back of the throat. Nice deep full breaths sound like ocean waves. Allowing yourself to be breath connected throughout our practice today. Allowing yourself to just widen your wingspan, figuratively through your practice, but also mentally and spiritually as we really explore our deep visions. Three more deep full breaths here. We're going to softly open the eyes. We're going to release our thumbs, and we're going to switch the cross of our legs. It may feel a little awkward. It's the way we don't choose to sit naturally. We're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. And as you exhale, we're going to take that right hand down, left arm up and over, keeping that left hip grounded as you really find a nice stretch through that left side body. One more full deep breath. And then we'll inhale up to center and exhale that left hand down, right arm up and overhead. Full deep breaths, keeping that right hip grounded. Softening the shoulders away from the ears. One more deep, full breath. Then we'll inhale on up. We're going to take a twist to the right. So that left hand is going to reach for that right thigh, and you have that right arm behind you. Take a nice deep inhale as you lengthen through both side bodies. Exhale, twist a little deeper. One more deep, full breath. Then we're going to go ahead and take that back hand and bring it forward onto that left thigh. And you have a natural pose here for eagle arms. So if that's in your practice, go ahead and find those eagle arms, or you can lightly touch onto the shoulders. So you can find a little more opening into that thoracic spine and that middle back where the shoulder blades are. One more full deep breath here. Then we're going to go ahead and inhale the arms up and overhead. And then as you exhale, we're going to twist to the left. So you're going to go ahead and take that right hand on the outside of that thigh and the left hand behind you. Another deep inhale as you lengthen, sit up nice and tall. And as you exhale, rotate from low belly, mid belly, and chest. Another full deep breath here. And then that back hand is going to reach forward to that right thigh. And again, we're going to take the eagle arms in the opposite way this time, or reach onto the shoulders. So again, finding a nice opening into that upper back. One more full deep breath. Then we're going to go ahead and release the arms up and overhead and down through heart center. We're going to do some nice shoulder rotations to get a full range of motion into our shoulders. So you're going to take that block or book for your head. We're going to recline on our left side. So what I'm going to do here is this left arm is just going to be right behind me. I'm going to bring my head to the block, and I'm going to kickstand my right or top leg. I'm going to have my right arm free here to take some rotations. I'm going to start with the palm facing out, so I'm in external rotation. I'm going to inhale my arm up like I'm reaching towards the sky. And then I'm going to find a little sticky point there, and I'm going to reverse my palm back, take it an internal rotation as I bring it back down behind me. And then I'm going to inhale back and internal rotation until I find a little sticky spot. And then I will return by bringing my palm back into that external rotation. So we're going to do 2 more rotations like that. Inhale up to where you feel a little stuck. Reverse the hand back. Exhale, bringing it back behind you. Inhale, bringing it back to that stuck point. Reverse the hand back in external rotation and exhale back down. One more full round with your breath here. Opening up through that right shoulder joint. Should feel pretty good. You might get a little Rice Krispies or popping in there. As long as there's no pain, that should be just fine. If there's any pain, just make it a milder movement for you. And then we're going to go ahead and release. We're going to come into Sphinx pose on our belly, just for in between sides. So rooting through the forearms. The arms are like 11s in front of you. The feet are slightly apart here. You're really rooting that pubic bone into the mat. So feel a nice drawing of the shoulder blades through the chest as you expand through the collarbones. I'm kind of drawing my elbows and arms back towards my torso to just get that nice little lift. And then I want you to imagine here your drishti, your gaze, between the eyebrows. So it's that third eye lens, similar to what we were talking about with the eagle. Just finding that gaze forward, seeing your vision. Imagine there are no limits. You have all the time, space, resources, and support you need. One more full breath in our Sphinx pose, getting a nice opening for chest and shoulders. And then we're going to transition into the left arm shoulder rotations. So I'm going to go ahead and take my right arm behind me. I'm going to bring my head to the block. I'm going to kickstand that top leg back, and I'm going to start an external rotation with that left arm. I'm going to inhale the arm up. I'm going to find that little tight spot, reverse my palm back, and internal rotation, and exhale all the way back. Coming back that way, internal rotation, I find a little stuck spot, reverse the arm into external rotation, and come on down on the exhale. 2 more full rounds. Inhaling, lifting that arm up, reversing the palm when it's good for you, and I got a little snap, crackle, pop in there. It's all good. Then we'll inhale the arm back and bringing it back. So these nice rotations keep a good range of motion into that shoulder joint. Last round here, flipping the palm back as I exhale. Inhale, lift. Exhale, return. Beautiful. So we're going to come onto hands and knees, transitioning into tabletop position. You can move the block off to the side. Spreading the fingers as wide as you can, making sure the shoulders are over the wrist and the hips are over the knees. We're going to come into our cow and cat very mindfully today. I want you to feel each and every vertebra, starting from the pelvis, coming all the way up through your spine. So we're going to go ahead and drop the belly down, feeling each vertebra as we come into our cow shape. And then leading from the pelvis here as we come into our cat. So I want you to move extra slow today. Feel each vertebra move, finding space and length into the spine. Few more rounds here again, leading with the pelvis as you drop the belly down, finding each vertebra and just bringing an awareness of where it's easier for you to move into the spine, where it may be a little more challenging or you can't even feel at all. Moving with your breath. One more full round. Again, you might hear some snap, crackle, pops. And then we'll find our neutral positioning. We're going to take side plank prep. I'm going to root through the right hand, the right knee, and I'm going to extend the left leg out long. I want to make sure that shoulder is right over the wrist, and I'm going to take my left arm up towards the sky. So imagine yourself widening your wingspan here. You're drawing the shoulders away from the ears, broadening through the collarbones. And then if you need a little challenge, we're going to lift that left leg off of the mat a few inches, a nice hard flex, lengthening the tailbone towards that heel. And then I want you to imagine the bottom of your sternum at the breastbone dipping underneath the navel towards the pubic bone. So find that nice, solid, stable torso. One more full breath, reaching a little bit higher with that left fingertips, pushing the right hand into the mat. And then we'll gently bring the foot down and the hand back to the mat, tabletop position. So finding that on the other side, rooting through the left hand, the left knee, the right leg extends out, making sure the left shoulder's over the wrist, right arm to the sky, expanding through that wingspan, drawing the shoulders away from the ears, lengthening the tailbone towards the heels. We lift that right foot off of the mat. A nice hard flex. And then again, imagine the bottom of the sternum dipping under the navel towards the pubic bone, pushing that right hand all the way to the sky or pulling that way and pushing the left hand into the mat. One more full breath. And we'll gently bring the foot down and the hand back down to the mat. We're going to take puppy dog pose here. Both hands are going to come forward. We're going to keep the hips high, and you're going to go ahead and try to reach the forehead down to the mat. If it doesn't ground, please use a block or a book under the forehead. And I want you to really root the fingertips into the mat and feel the front of the forearm engaging as you root through those fingertips, using all of our arm here, using the upper outer arms to really engage the biceps and the triceps of the arms. One more full breath here, getting a nice opening into that upper back. Then we're going to go ahead and inhale on up. Walk the hands back. We're going to take a block, the narrow side in between the inner thighs. So as we use the inner thighs, it helps us to engage the lower belly. So we're going to tuck the toes under, doing a little core work here, and lifting the knees a couple inches off the mat. So you're going to feel the whole torso and core turn on. Lengthening the tailbone back, frontal hip points lift. You're welcome to stay here just holding. If you'd like a little challenge, you try to keep the pelvis stable and neutral as you alternate opposite hand to knee. So moving slowly and mindfully here, really engaging all areas of the core, the transverse abdominis, the rectus abdominis, everywhere. A few more taps or just hold. Feel free to drop to the knees at any time if you are tired. One more tap each side, turning on that core, and then we'll gently bring the knees down to the mat. Good job. We're going to continue to keep the block as we transition into downward facing dog. So taking the palms a couple inches forward, tuck the toes under. As you exhale, the legs straighten and come back. You're in upside down V, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So you're always welcome to have a bend into the knees if the hamstrings feel tight. We're going to hold downward facing dog, just working our strength of the pose. So pushing the hands down and away. And today really rooting through the fingertips so you feel the front of the forearm turn on and relieving the wrists. And the upper outer arms turn on, really engaging everything in the arm area and the shoulders. Those front ribs hug in. Use your core here. Tops of the thighs are pressing back and up, and you're really hugging in the inner thighs, using that low belly. Letting it feel good here as we lengthen through the spine, bringing more weight into the legs so it's equal here. One more full deep breath. Keeping the head between the biceps, gently nod the head yes and no. Let it feel good here, just releasing the jaw and the neck. And then we're going to walk our hands back towards the feet, coming into a ragdoll forward fold. So bend the knees as much as you need to. Keep the block if you have it, and let the head go. Feel free to sway a little side to side, just getting a nice forward fold, releasing through the lower back. And then we're going to take the hands behind the back. You're going to hook a thumb, similar to that Eagle Mudra, and really draw the shoulders away from the ears as you lift the hands away from the lower back. Get a nice opening through the chest. And then we're gently going to release the thumbs, bring the hands to the mat, a bend into the knees, hands to the hips on the next inhale with a flat back. We'll come up to standing. Nice work. We're going to stay here working some quarter sun salutations, keeping that block, helping us to hug into midline. We're going to inhale the arms up. You're going to hook a thumb, really reach high, and then we're going to lean over towards the right. So stay rooted through the feet and find a nice stretch through that left side body. And then we'll inhale to center. Exhale over towards the left, getting the stretch now on the right side, really trying to pull those thumbs apart so you're really engaging through the hands and the arms. One more full breath. We're going to inhale on up. Exhale the hands behind the back, and you're going to hook the opposite way with the thumbs. It's going to feel a little awkward. And draw the shoulders away from the ears, and we're going to stretch through the neck. So we're going to take that right ear to right shoulder. Feel free to close the eyes here to feel that nice stretch into the left shoulder. And then we'll exhale the chin to the chest. And then we'll go ahead and take the left ear to left shoulder, really opening through the right side trapezius, the top of the shoulder. and the neck. And then we'll take the chin to the chest again, and then inhale on up. You're going to release the thumbs, you're going to release the block, and we'll make our way to the top of the mat. We're going to be taking 3 rounds of half sun salutations. So finding Tadasana mountain pose. Maybe you rock a little onto the feet, back and forth, side to side, finding your center, really rooted. And finding that point of focus, that drishti. We're going to inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, folding out the hips as you come all the way down in Uttanasana. Inhaling for your half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. And exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Root to the feet, strong arms reach you all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, front ribs hugging. 2 more full rounds. Inhaling all the way up. Exhale, extend the spine, forward fold as you reach all the way down. Inhaling for the half lift, turn on those quadriceps, strong legs. And then exhale, fold. Root through the feet, strong arms reach you all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, front ribs knit together. 1 more full round. Inhaling up. Exhale, forward fold as you expand through that chest. Inhaling for the half lift, collarbones widen. Exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hug it all into center. Feels so good. We're going to take 2 classic rounds of Sun Salutation A. I'm going to be guiding stepping back. If you have a jump back practice, feel free to take that. Also, if you're used to jumping into handstand, feel free to take that as well. We'll inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, lead with that heart. Expand those wings as you come on down. Inhaling for your half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Right leg will come back, followed by the left. You're in plank pose. We'll exhale through Chaturanga all the way to the mat for the first round. We'll inhale, push elbows, hug in, low cobra. Tuck the toes. We'll lift through half or full plank. Exhale, tops of the thighs draw you back. Downward facing dog. We'll take the left foot up between the hands, followed by the right. Inhaling for your half lift, and exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, those front ribs hug in, stabilize through the torso. Second side. Inhaling the arms up. Lead with the heart as you forward fold. Inhaling, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. Left leg will come back, followed by the right. We'll exhale through Chaturanga. Inhaling for low cobra or upward facing dog if you're ready. Transitioning through plank if you're in that low cobra. We'll exhale back, downward facing dog. Know that all of this can be done on the knees through your vinyasa. We'll bring that right foot up between the hands, followed by the left. Inhale for the half lift, and exhale, fold. Let the head go. Root the feet. Inhale the arms up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful job. We'll continue on here. Inhaling the arms up. And exhale, forward fold. Inhaling for the half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands. We're going to take the right leg back. We're going to prepare for a slow rising crescent pose. So you have the feet planted. We're going to lift the hands a couple inches off the mat as that left thigh draws back and in. The legs are hugging like scissors. You're really turning on both legs. We're going to go ahead and take the arms forward. And then everything you got, you're going to come all the way up. Beautiful. So frontal hip points lift here. Engage that torso, engage the core, and then we're going to hook a thumb. And I want you to try to feel like you're breaking those thumbs apart. So you're turning on those arms, really strong shoulders, bringing the weight back into that back leg just as much as that front leg. We're going to go ahead and reach forward, keeping space between that left hip and pelvis. Really use that back leg and front leg. And then we're going to release the bind and take the right hand to the mat, take a twist to the left as the left arm comes to the sky. So once again, widening through that wingspan. Shoulders draw away from the ears. You're welcome to take a half wrap here. Just keep that left hand to the sky. Shoulder head draws back if you have the half wrap. One more full deep inhale and exhale. And we'll take the left hand to the sky. We'll release it to the mat. Gently bring the right knee to the mat. And if you have the blocks, we're going to bring them on the inside of the left foot. So finding a low lunge lizard here. So we're going to go ahead and get a nice stretch. Inner thighs, outer hips. So you can stay up on the hands. You can come down onto the forearms. And we're just going to do some wrist rotations as we hold the stretch. So you're welcome to do one wrist at a time or both wrists together. So I'm just going to circle the wrist in one direction. A few rounds, and I'm going to switch in the other direction. Anything that feels good for you. Again, you might hear some snap, crackle, pops. Just bringing a greater range of motion into our wrist joint. Nice job. Holding another breath here in the nice stretch. Then we'll go ahead and transition back on up into half split, Ardha Hanuman. So I like to take my blocks with me on both sides of the hips. Have a nice flex into the left foot. And I'm going to go ahead and lean forward, still keeping space between the pelvis and the thigh. My heel is rooting into the mat and energetically drawing back towards that left glute. So I'm feeling a lot of my hamstring turn on, and feel free to place a bend into that knee. And now I'm going to externally rotate the foot by taking it to the left. I'm going to feel the outside hamstring muscle turn on as well as the IT band. And then I'll come back to center and I'll internally rotate a little bit to the right, feeling a little bit more into the inside hamstring muscle and the inner thigh. One more full breath. Then we'll go ahead and bring the toes back up. We'll ground them down, blocks off to the side, transitioning back to low lunge. So I'm going to tuck the back toes under, release the knee up, and then I'm going to find plank pose. We're going to take Vashisthasana here, side plank, and you're welcome to take the prep variation that we did in the beginning of our practice. So I'm going to root through the right hand and the blade of my right foot. The left arm is going to come to the sky, widening through that wingspan. And today I'm going to take Wild Thing pose, Kamat Karasana. So I'm going to go ahead and kickstand the top leg, come onto the ball of the foot, and really draw my heart to the sky, expanding through that wingspan, drawing the shoulder blades through the chest, but yet feeling the bottom of the sternum dipping under the navel towards the pubic bone. Strong core, strong body. And then I'm going to return back to plank pose. Holding here, dropping to the knees if you need to. We're going to take fallen triangle. We're going to hold that leg to start. So that left leg threads through. Try to find a nice flow to the leg. Release it down when you need to. And then when you're ready, release down. Opening up through that wingspan. One more full breath. And then we'll find plank pose. Option to come to downward facing dog or work through your Ardha Vinyasa. Shifting forward. Exhale through Chaturanga. Inhale low cobra. Upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you're in low cobra. We'll all meet in downward facing dog. Another full deep inhale here. And exhale. Push the hands down and away. Tops of the thighs up and back. And then those ribs really hug in. We're going to float the right leg up and back, three-legged downward facing dog. Hug in with that left thigh and hip. We're going to go ahead and take that right foot up between the hands, getting ready for that slow rise crescent pose. So I'm going to go ahead and take the hands a couple inches off the mat as the right thigh draws back and in. Then the arms are going to come by the ears, really drawing my navel to spine here, engage my core, and hug everything into midline. Then inhaling the arms all the way up. Nice job. Frontal hip points lift. Feel a nice opening in the front of the left leg. The core is engaging. And then you're going to hook opposite thumb. It's going to feel a little awkward, and try to really break away those thumbs. So you're engaging the arms. One more full breath here. Reaching towards the sky. Back leg is strong. And then we're going to reach all the way forward, keeping that space between pelvis and thigh. Use the core, use the arms. And then we'll release the thumbs, left arm down, right arm to the sky for the twist. Expand your wingspan. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. And you're welcome to take the half wrap here. As you do so, that right shoulder head draws back. One more full breath. We'll unwind if you have the half wrap, bringing the right hand to the mat. We'll gently release the left knee to the mat, preparing for Low Lunge Lizard. So bringing the blocks, if you have them, on the inside of the right foot. Finding a nice stretch for you in all parts of the legs. You can stay up on the hands or transition down onto the forearms. We're going to do some rotations of the thumbs and fingers here. So feel free to rotate the thumbs in one direction 3 times and then the other. This is always fun to do the fingers. The fingers sometimes have a mind of their own and they want to move together. So trying to isolate the fingers as you rotate in both directions. I think my ring finger is the most challenging. It wants to move with the pinky. So just really opening up through our joints, keeping them, the range of motion, generous. One more full breath here. Then we'll inhale on up, finding our half split. Nice flex into the right foot. Really sitting up tall. Take a nice deep inhale. Pitch forward, keeping the space between the pelvis and the thigh. And then rooting the heel into the mat and energetically drawing it back towards that right glute. Feel the hamstring turn on and stretch. And a micro bend into the right knee is always a good idea. Now I'm going to externally rotate to the right and feel the outside hamstring muscle as well as my IT band on that side. And then inhaling on up, taking the internal rotation by rotating a little bit to the left, feeling more into the inside hamstring muscle and inner thigh. Then we'll go ahead and draw to center. We're going to root the foot down, blocks off to the side, transitioning back into low lunge. So tucking the back toes under, releasing the left knee up, we'll come into plank pose. Again, you're welcome to drop to the knees if you need to and take the side plank prep. We're going to root left side this time, blade of the left foot and right arm to the sky. And just gazing down at the left wrist, making sure it's underneath the shoulder, widening through your wingspan here. Option to take Wild Thing, Karasana, by taking that top leg back up onto the ball of the foot, opening up, again, shoulder blades through the chest, the bottom of the sternum, dipping under the navel towards the pubic bone. One more full breath. And then finding plank pose. We're going to take that fallen triangle, but trying to float the leg to build strength. So I'm going to go ahead and take the right foot. I'm going to float it through, holding left arm to the sky. And then if you'd like, you can ground it down for a nice opening. One more full breath. And then returning to plank pose. Option to come to downward facing dog or work through your art of Vinyasa. Shifting forward. Exhale through Chaturanga. Inhale. Low Cobra, upward facing dog. Strong legs. Transitioning through plank. If you're in low Cobra, we'll all meet in downward facing dog. Full complete inhale as you push the hands down and away. As you exhale, tops of the thighs drawing back and up, and the front ribs hug in. Beautiful work. We're going to all inhale into plank pose. Feel free to drop to the knees here on the count of 5, coming to the mat. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good work. All right, we're going to bring the forehead to the mat, and the arms are going to come alongside of you, palms down. We're going to work into Shalabhasana, a beautiful belly back bend. So you're going to go ahead and keep the pubic bone rooted into the mat. You're going to inhale, lift up chest and shoulders, the hands lift, and lift up the feet off the ground and the legs. So feel a long line of energy, crown of the head through the feet, really engaging all the muscles on your back body, keeping our back body just as strong as our front body. Find that lift, one more full breath. And then exhale, come on down. We're going to take reverse Shavasana. Right arm in cactus, left arm relaxing beside you, and gaze to the right hand. Let go here. A full breath of just letting go. One more here. And then go ahead and come back to center, forehead to the mat. The hands are going to come behind the back, hooking a thumb. You're going to bring the feet back together. And you're going to feel yourself trying to break away those thumbs. So you're already lifting the shoulders off of the mat. We're going to inhale, lift the torso, and lift the feet. Shalabhasana variation with the Garuda Mudra. So just finding yourself lifting, 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 shoulders lifting, everything lifting. One more full breath, working that back body. And then exhale, release, reverse Shavasana, left side. Left hand grounds and cactus, right arm releases, and let everything go. Steady the breath. One more deep full breath. We'll go ahead and ground the forehead one more time. You're going to hook the opposite thumb this time. So it's the weird way. Doesn't feel quite right. Feet come together. Try to break away the thumbs. Shoulder heads are already lifting. And now inhale. Everything else off of the mat. Your last Shalabhasana. Make it your best. Lift a little bit more. Lengthen. Imagine your toes going straight back. One more full breath. And then exhale, release down. Nice job. We're going to take forearm plank to transition out of this. So the arms can come in 11s, or you can interlace the hands. Either way, let's take the 11s today for what we're going to do. So we're going to tuck the toes under, and we're going to lift up into forearm plank. So building that core strength. You're welcome to drop one knee down at a time if you need to. So I want you to feel the frontal hip points lift here. Turn on the core, and we're going to go ahead. You can welcome to stay, or we're going to root through the right forearm, the blade of the right foot, and left arm to the sky. Nice little variation here. Modified side plank just on the forearm, and then we'll return back to center, and we'll take that on the left, root through the left forearm, the blade of the left foot, right arm to the sky. So frontal hip points lift here. Engage your core, root to that left forearm, expand your wingspan. Returning back, 3 more full breaths here. You got this. Core strength, front body and back body. One more deep inhale and exhale. And then we're going to come all the way to plank. So take one hand down and come on up. Good job. Downward facing dog. Good work. Nice job. One more full deep inhale and exhale. We're going to bend into the knees. You're going to gaze forward. You're going to step or float to the top of the mat. Inhale for the half lift, and exhale, fold. Root through the feet, sweep the arms all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Nice job. All right, just closing the eyes. 3 full breaths here. Steadying the breath. Coming back to that vision. Imagine there are no limits. We're going to softly open the eyes, and we're going to continue into Utkatasana, fierce pose. Let's go ahead and bring the hands down by the feet. Inhale the arms up. Nice job. Weight is into the heels, shin shift back in space, and the frontal hip points lift. Strong arms. One more full breath as you squat down a little bit more. And exhale, fold. Inhale for the half lift. Exhale, bend the knees, plant the hands, right leg back. We're going to prepare for crescent pose. So inhaling the arms up and overhead. Nice strong legs here, hugging into midline. Frontal hip points lift, and then find a hook of the thumbs. Trying to break away those thumbs. We're going to go ahead and come into warrior 3. We're going to release the thumbs, bring the arms back like airplane wings. Kicking that back leg towards the wall behind you. Right thigh drops down, and you're really working that standing leg. Focus here. We have a couple more full breaths. Maybe you lift the leg a little higher, drop that right thigh down a little bit more, and hug in with the left thigh and hip. One more full breath. Transitioning into eagle pose, Garudasana. Wrapping that right leg, either toe tapping, wrap once or twice around the calf. The arms come out to the side, and the right arm's going to come underneath the left, those eagle arms. Once you have your wraps, again, you can always touch on the shoulders. You're going to go ahead and squat down as low as you can, but you want your spine nice and lengthened. Squeezing the inner thighs together, squeezing the arms together. Such a powerful pose, Garudasana. One more full breath. We're going to release the way we came. So we're going to unwrap into that warrior 3. Try to just take that leg straight back. Good job. And then we're going to take the hands down for standing splits. The legs are in an L shape. You can gaze back and look at the right foot, pointing down towards the mat. You're welcome to take the left arm behind the left calf and draw the nose in towards the shin, getting a beautiful stretch for the left hamstring. You're welcome to stay in standing splits or take 3 handstand hops. Maybe you find a handstand today. So really working that standing leg. Wherever you're at, one more full round. And then we're going to go ahead and reach that right foot all the way back, transitioning back to low lunge. From low lunge, finding plank pose, taking side plank right side. So root through the right hand, the blade of the right foot, left arm to the sky, finding your Karasana, wild thing pose. Find that lift. Returning back to plank pose, finding fallen triangle with the float of the leg for strength, and then grounding the foot down for opening. Then finding your plank pose, option a down dog or Ardha Vinyasa. Exhale through Chaturanga. Inhale, low Cobra, upward facing dog. Transitioning through plank if you're in low Cobra. We'll all meet in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Another deep inhale and exhale. As you're ready, we're going to float the right leg up and back, 3-legged dog, hug in with the left thigh and hip. We'll take that right foot up between the hands, low lunge. We're going to inhale all the way up. Anjaneyasana. Hooking the opposite thumb this time. Feels a little awkward. Trying to break away those thumbs, strong arms. Frontal hip points lift, that back leg super strong, a nice bend into the front leg. We're gonna shift and lift into Warrior 3 with the airplane wing arms. Strong left leg, kicking back. Hugging in with the right thigh and hip, left thigh drops down. Holding for quite a few breaths here. Finding that strength in the standing leg. Finding your focus. Imagine you were flying like an eagle above everything else. One more full breath. Lift the leg a little higher. Drop that left thigh a little bit more. Hug in with the core. Inhaling on up, that leg's gonna wrap for eagle wrap, Garudasana. Finding your toe tap, 1 or 2 wraps, arms out to the side. Left arm comes underneath the right. Once you have your bind, you're gonna squat down. Nice tall spine. Full deep breaths as you squeeze inner thighs and arms in towards midline. Few more breaths here. We're going to come back the way we came. Slow and steady. Taking that left leg straight back. Flexing through the foot. Dropping down with the left thigh. And then we'll release to standing splits. Gazing back, release the neck. That right hand comes behind that calf, drawing the nose in towards the shin if you'd like. You're welcome to stay here. Take those 3 handstand hops. Wherever you're at, we're coming back, releasing the left leg all the way back for a low lunge. From low lunge, we'll take plank pose. We're going to root to the left hand, left foot. Always welcome to come to the knees, right arm to the sky, expand through that wingspan. Top leg comes back. Come on, Karasana. Coming back to plank pose. Holding our fallen triangle. Float that leg, strengthen the legs, and then ground down for that opening and length. And then finding your plank pose. Option for down dog or your vinyasa. Exhale through Chaturanga. Inhale, low Cobra up dog. Strong legs. Tops of the thighs will bring you back. Downward facing dog. Full deep breath here. One more full deep breath. We're going to bend into the knees, gaze forward, step or float to the top of the mat. Inhaling, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Utkatasana, fierce pose. Squat down a little bit more. Lengthen through the spine, frontal hip points lift, shins shift back in space. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, taking that Eagle Mudra. Closing the eyes. Tuning in to that third eye lens. Getting your vision from above. Your divine source of wisdom and strength. Fearlessness, hope. Honoring your intentions. One more full deep breath. Softly open the eyes. Release the palms down. We're going to go ahead and take Malasana squat next with the option of taking an arm balance, Kakasana crow or Bakasana crane. So if you're welcome to sit on a block if squatting is challenging for you. So we're going to go ahead and come on down. And you're welcome to stay here if you'd like. If you want to transition into the arm balance, you would ground your hands down and the knees come into the inside of the triceps, or excuse me, into the inside back of the arms into the armpits, or they can wrap around the outside of the arms. So finding that place for your knees to ground onto the upper arms. And then gazing forward, not straight down. You can lift a toe off and then the other. Now, if this is a proficiency in your practice, feel free to transition into that handstand or maybe a tripod headstand today. This little challenge here may or may not happen. That's all good. If you have the tripod, take the legs to the sky and try to come back through your arm balance. Wherever you're at is perfect for you today. We're going to be coming on back into that Malasana squat when you're ready. Nice work, everybody. Good job. We're going to come onto our seat, taking beach pose, just a nice way to relax. So come on back. I like this for my arms. I get a nice stretch along the shoulders. We worked a lot of our shoulders today, opening up through the shoulders and the chest. Feel free to wiggle, waggle the feet here. You're welcome to stay here if this feels really nice for you. We're going to take 2 rounds of reverse tabletop. First round, traditional. Second round, if you'd like to take Purvottanasana with the straight legs, feel free. Welcome to stay here again if you need to or like to. If you're coming into reverse table, you'll place a bend into the knees, the feet facing forward, the hands back towards the glutes. And you're going to inhale like you're a table. And the gaze can be wherever it's comfortable. You can look straight ahead, or if you like to gaze to the sky. So lift through the hips, really push the hands into the mat and feel a beautiful stretch for the anterior deltoids in the arms. One more full breath. And then release the hips back down. We're going to do that one more time with the option of straightening through the legs and pointing the toes towards the mat. So inhale, lift. Again, you're welcome to stay here in reverse table or try to straighten the legs. Lift the hips up a little bit more. Gaze where it's comfortable. One more full breath. And exhale, back down. Nice job. All right, let's take Janu Sirsasana. So we're going to go ahead and keep the right leg straight and the left foot's going to come onto the inner thigh. You're going to come up onto those sit bones, a nice flex into the right foot. We're going to inhale the arms up, angle over the right leg, and come on forward. You can bend that right knee as much as you need to. So inhale, lengthen through both side bodies, and then exhale, release on down. 3 more full breaths. Feel the nice stretch into the QL muscles in the lower back, side body, into the hamstring. 1 more deep full breath. We're going to inhale up and take a front body opening. So left hand will come behind you. You're going to ground through the right foot, right arm to the sky. Expand through your wingspan. Shoulder blades draw through the chest. And then we'll exhale, coming on down, and we'll switch sides. I'll take the left leg forward, the right foot into the inner thigh. Flex into the left foot. We'll inhale the arms up, angle over that left leg. Take a nice deep inhale as you lengthen. Exhale, fold. 5 full breaths. Where do you feel the opening in your body? take your breath to that area. Soften the face, the jaw. We'll go ahead and inhale back up, taking that front body opening. The right hand will come back. Ground through the left foot, left arm to the sky. Open, 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 expand through those wings. And then exhale, come on down. Nice work. We're going to take, I'm going to transition onto my mat and take a wide-legged forward fold. So feel free to do that just to have more support for your feet and ankles. And we're going to take a nice. So I'm going to root the right hand down, right arm down to comfort. I'm going to inhale the left arm up, and I'm still keeping that here. And if you can try to reach over, see if you can grab onto that foot or toe, really getting a huge side body opening for that left side. Again, staying right here is great. You're still feeling the same effect of the pose. One more full breath. And then we'll inhale on up. We'll take that to the left side. So left arm will ground down, right arm up. Find that right sit bone still into the mat. And then reach on over to comfort. Such a beautiful opening into that right side body. One more full breath. And then we'll inhale, come on up. Just pause to feel. And then we're going to draw the legs together for Paschimottanasana. So we're going to come up on the sit bones. We're going to inhale the arms up. We're going to lengthen forward. You can bend the knees as much as you need to. Reach for whatever you can get. And then forward fold. Soften in. Breathe into the back body. One more deep full breath. And we're going to go ahead and inhale back on up. We're going to get ready for 3 rounds of bridge pose. On that last round, there is the option of taking Urdhva Dhanurasana, upward facing bow. If you're taking bridge pose, I would encourage the block between the inner thighs. If you're coming into upward facing bow, please release the block at that point. So we're going to come on down. I'm going to use the block for the first couple rounds. For the first round, I'm just going to have you root the triceps into the mat, fingertips face towards the sky. You have your feet about hip-width distance apart where it's comfortable for you. And we're going to inhale, lift up the hips and pelvis, and bring the spine off of the mat. You want your gaze straight up to the ceiling. You don't want to turn your head right to left. So just listen to my cueing here. Lifting up those hips, hugging into the block reminds us to use the inner thighs and our core in this posture. One more full breath. And then we're going to exhale vertebra by vertebra and bring the hips back down to the mat. For the second round, we'll be interlacing the hands behind the back, or you can stay with the robot arms. So as you're ready, you're going to inhale, lift up hips and pelvis. If you want to reach the hands underneath the lower back and find a little more lift onto the shoulder heads, you can. So in bridge pose, the bridge is actually that space between the shoulder blades, imagining water going through that spot. Maybe you lift a little higher, hug in a little bit more into that block, rooted strongly through the feet as you feel the heels energetically draw back towards the glutes. One more full breath. And then exhale, release vertebra by vertebra, release the hands down. You're welcome to take one more variation of bridge pose. I'm going to come into Urdhva Dhanurasana. So if you're taking upward facing bow, the hands will come towards the ears and you want to come up onto the crown of the head. So wherever you're at, we're going to go ahead and inhale, lift on up. If you're an upward facing bow, really trying to hug the inner thighs together. Nice, strong, straight arms. Engage those upper outer arms. Widen through the collarbones. Wherever you're at, holding a couple more full deep breaths. Slowly releasing back down to the crown of the head if you're in Urdhva. Coming all the way back down, vertebra by vertebra. Find that block once again for supported bridge pose. So you can take the block, lift up the hips. You're welcome just to stay in this yummy supported bridge. The other options would be extending a leg forward to open up through the hip flexor and psoas area. That is, if your low back is healthy, you can try extending both legs long, just a nice little release. If you want to take modified shoulder stand, it's nice to elevate the block a level, find that nice spot onto your lower back, and take both legs to the sky. Lots of options here. Find what works for you today. About another minute in the pose, beginning to soften, beginning to come into our extended exhalation breath. So whatever your inhalation is, doubling out the exhale. It's very calming for the nervous system. Helps us drop in to our Shavasana. It's always a good rule of thumb if you want a little more energy in your day, really increasing your inhalations. And if you want to calm and settle and relax, extending your exhalations. Three more full breaths wherever you are at. We're going to go ahead and place a bend into the knees, grounding the feet to the mat. If you're on a higher level of the block, you want to release to the lower level. Supine twist. So I'm going to offer classic or an eagle twist. So we're going to place a bend into the knees, ground the feet. You can either cross the left leg over the right or just keep the legs and the knees together. So we're going to be twisting to the right to start. So I like to shift my hips a little to the left so I'm down the center of my mat, and then bring the knees over towards the right. Now if you're an eagle twist, more than likely your shoulder is lifting off of the mat, and that's okay, but just bring that left hand to the waist or torso so you're not bringing too much strain into the chest and shoulder. About 3 more deep full breaths here. Gaze can be where it's comfortable. One more deep full breath. And then we're going to go ahead and inhale back to center. Uncross the legs if you had them. If you're taking an eagle twist, you're going to cross the right leg over the left. Shift the hips a little over. Come into that twist. Again, if the shoulder's way off of the mat, you can bring the hand onto the waist or the torso. 5 full breaths. Softening the face, the neck, the shoulders, the jaw. One more deep full breath. Then we're going to go ahead and slowly come back to center, unwind. We're going to hug the knees into the chest, Utkatasana. And then we're going to take a happy baby. So we're going to reach for the outside edges of the feet as the feet come up towards the sky. You have the knees in towards the armpits here, and just releasing through the lower back and hips. And we're going to take a half happy baby. So I'm going to try to straighten through the right leg. My left heel reaches a little bit more into the inner thigh and glutes. One more full breath. And then I'll bend into the right knee, bring that right heel in towards the hamstring and the glute, and then I'll extend the left leg as straight as I can be. Just getting a little more opening on that side. One more full breath. And then drawing both legs in, Utkatasana again. We're going to prepare for Shavasana now. I'm going to encourage you to take the blocks underneath the calves of the legs just to give a little elevation to the legs. If you like that option, great. If not, you can lie flat on the back or even on the belly or the side, whatever feels best for you. I'm going to take the blocks a little bit wider than my normal stance here so I can really relax. I'm going to come on back, and we're going to start by taking that Eagle Mudra onto the chest. Coming back to your vision. Imagine there are no limitations. You have all the resources, time, space, and support that you need. I want you to tune in with that third eye lens towards the light, your source of divine strength and wisdom. Just seeking that vision from high above and drawing it into your heart space. One more full breath. And you're gently going to release your arms by your sides. Tuck the shoulder blades under as the shoulders draw away from the ears. For the next 10 seconds, scanning your body, noticing where you're holding any tension, and consciously letting go. Release fully into the mat, into the earth, into your Shavasana. You are welcome to stay here as long as you'd like. You're ready to transition, just noticing the breath, allowing the breath to fill the space of your body, your breath of life flowing freely, each breath a purpose. Bring some gentle movement to fingers and toes, maybe rocking the head gently side to side. If it feels right, you can take a full body stretch. We'll begin to place a bend into the knees, transitioning into a fetal position on either side. And then as you're ready, we'll use the strength of the arms to make our way into a comfortable seat. Once you find that comfortable seat, we're going to draw the palms face up on the thighs in a receiving gesture. And seeking guidance for that vision. Imagine there are no limitations. We'll softly open the eyes. We're going to inhale the arms up and overhead, gazing towards the heavens, taking that vision that you're receiving, and as you exhale, grounding it on down. We're going to inhale, taking that Eagle Mudra at the heart. As you exhale, bring the hands out in front of you, sharing that vision with the world. Taking the hands behind the back. Take a nice deep inhale. Are there any fears you're holding on to? Any limitations? Place the palms out and exhale them all out. And then go ahead and inhale the arms up and overhead, sealing everything in love and light and drawing the hands to heart center, bowing the head into the heart. It's always an honor and a pleasure to guide you through your practice. Thank you for sharing your beautiful presence with me. From the light within me, I honor and respect the light within you. Walk in grace and peace and shine bright, my friends. Much love and namaste. Thank you so much for joining me today. Again, you can stay connected with me on my website, loveserveinspire.com.